Well, a very good morning and a warm welcome to another devotional in our Easter devotional series. I'm in the Millennium Garden today in Alness, partly because we're going to be reflecting today on Jesus' time in the Garden of Gethsemane. So let's read together from Matthew's Gospel this time, chapter 26, verses 36.
Then Jesus went to his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and watch with me." Going a little further, he fell on his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. "Watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." He went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done." When he came back, he again found them sleeping because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more and prayed the third time, saying the same thing. Then he turned to the disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come. The Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer."
In the opening chapters of the Bible, we read of a paradise garden, a garden called Eden, where Adam and Eve were said to walk with God in perfect fellowship. Adam was given a choice to love God by obeying God and not eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which God had commanded him not to eat. And of course, we know the story. Adam and Eve, encouraged by the serpent, disobeyed God, leading to what we call the fall. Death entered the world on account of Adam and Eve's sin. And they were banished from God's good garden. But even still, God did not abandon them. God did not give up on them. In his mercy, God promised a Savior would come, the offspring of Eve who would come and do what Adam had failed to do. He would come and he would crush the serpent's head, but not before the serpent had first bruised his heel. And here in the garden, a decisive moment in human history, Jesus the Messiah, the second Adam, comes to the garden to pray. Why is he there in Gethsemane? Well, he is about to atone for Adam's sin, for my sin, and for your sin. He's about to bear the weight of God's wrath against all wickedness. And in his humanity, he is fearful, he is frightened, he is sorrowful. And he says, "My soul is overwhelmed, even to the point of death." And he prays in verse 39. He prays, "Father, if it be possible, might this cup pass from me, but not as I will, but as you will." Now, knowing the barbarity of Roman execution, we might think of the cross of Calvary as the supreme example of Christ's suffering. And that may be true, but let me tell you, his suffering began well before that in the Garden of Gethsemane, literally pouring sweat drops of blood. Apparently, this is a very rare condition, something only experienced under extreme duress. Yet despite his excruciating sorrow, even to the point of death, love conquered in that garden. Where the first Adam had failed to carry out his duty, where the first Adam sought his own glory, Jesus, the second Adam, the true Adam, sought only the glory of his Father. Jesus submitted his will to that of his Father's, aligned his will, yet not my will be done, even though it would result in death. The garden was the decisive moment when Jesus said yes to God, yes to love, yes to you, yes to me. The Father's wrath against sin was overflowing, and he drank all of it. Why would he do that? The answer is very simple and very profound. Because he loved his Father, because he loved me, and because he loved you. In fact, in one part of John's Gospel, Jesus says, "For this reason the Father loves me. I lay down my life." I have authority to lay it down, and authority to raise it up again. This command I've been given from my Father. Jesus went to that cross willingly. He went there purposefully, and he went there mercifully. Tomorrow on Good Friday, we'll explore this a bit further. Until then, I'd like to share with you a song that my wife Anna and I wrote this week. It's called "The Garden." God bless.
To a garden you came, God's soul to reclaim. A cross before you, anxiety, fear, blood, sweat, and tears fell from your face. Anguish and pain, the weight of my sin upon your shoulders. You fell down to pray. There was no other way to bring us home. This was the place where love conquered. This was the place where love saved. There in the garden, Jesus was broken. There in the garden, love fell down to pray. It was there in the garden, before Calvary's mountain. Wrath's cup overflowed, yet he drank it all. There in the garden. To the garden you came, death's home to declaim. A cross before you, this path would entail the kiss of betrayal upon your face. Gethsemane's tears, its sorrow and fears would overwhelm you. The price to atone and bring sinners home, too much to bear. This was a place of surrender. This was a place where love saved. There in the garden, Jesus was broken. There in the garden, love fell down to pray. It was there in the garden, before Calvary's mountain. Wrath's cup overflowed, you drank it all. There in the garden. To the garden you came, lost sinners to save. A cross before you, no slumber, no sleep, God's own will to keep, our curse to bear. Where Adam had failed, your love would prevail to crush the serpent. God's Eden restored, His children reborn forevermore. This was a place where love conquered. This was a place where love